Hello, my name is John Murphy, and I am the president of the Naples Historical Society. Enjoy this audio tour of historic Naples, New York. Number 1. The Clark House, near the junction of County Road 12 and Route 21. Colonel William Clark, an officer in the Revolutionary War, built this house in 1795. Except for the porch, little has changed. This house has had only two families as owners, the Clarks and the Hangeys. Number 2. The Williams House, 208 North Main Street. Oliver Williams built this house in the 1790s. It is one of the oldest in Naples. South of this house, Nathan Watkins, one of the village's first settlers, built his home. Number 3. The Town Square or Common, North Main across from Route 245. In 1793, a plot of 1 acre was given to the town by the proprietors to be used as a town square for religious, recreational, and educational purposes. The first Naples church was built here. Inns and homes were built around the square. Number 4. The First Church, once stood on North Main across from Route 245. On this site was organized the first religious compact of Middletown 1800. The church was built in 1824. Middletown became Naples in 1808. Number 5. Naples Pioneer Cemetery, North Main across from Route 245. The original Naples Cemetery, located west of Bob and Ruth's restaurant, was originally used as the sacred burial grounds of the Seneca Nation of Native Americans. For the first 60 years, Naples' dead were buried here. Here lie the bodies of 11 Revolutionary War officers and soldiers, as well as 9 soldiers who served in the War of 1812. Number 6. Chief Ganesque, North Main across from Route 245. Ganesque, chief of the Senecas at Onondawaho village, returned from the Genesee Reservation in 1794 to die and be buried in his beloved Ganandaque Valley. Number 7. The Tulare House, corner of Main Street and Route 245. This beautiful colonial home was built by Captain Ephraim Cleveland, a Revolutionary War officer and original settler, in 1794. It was one of the first frame homes in the village, and it is today almost as it was in 1794. It is noted for its excellent wall stenciling, the work of Stephen Clark, the son of Major Joseph Clark and grandson of Colonel William Clark. Stephen was Naples' first college graduate and was the author of the widely used Clark's Grammar. It currently houses an antique shop. Number 8. The Red Schoolhouse, corner of Mount Pleasant and Main. This was the site of the first school building after districts were formed in 1828. It was designated District Number 1, School Number 9 by the community. The present building was built in 1870 and used until 1935, when schools were centralized. It has been adapted for business use. Number 9. The Joseph Clark House, 4 Mount Pleasant Street. This house was built in 1813 or 1814 by Joseph Clark, son of Colonel William Clark. The house contains original log beams, hand-hewn boards, and other examples of early building construction. Number 10. The last remaining building of the World War II POW camp, Toby Street. Naples was one of 40 communities statewide that housed the POW camp during World War II. Approximately 200 POWs lived in barracks between Academy Street and beyond Lake Niagara Lane. Widmer's contracted for the assistance of POWs in the grape harvest due to the worker shortage as a result of World War II. In 1943, about 233 Italian POWs assisted in the harvest. In 1944, the Italians were gone, and there were 219 German POWs helping. This camp operated for several years. Number 11. The Early Store and Cigar Factory, corner of Main and Toby Street. This early Naples building was used as a saloon, a general store, and finally Samuel Howe's cigar factory. Built in the early 1800s, it became a family residence in 1924. Number 12, Hazlitt Winery, formerly Widmer's Winery, Lake Niagara Lane at West Avenue. After starting operations in the cellar of his home in 1888, John Jacob Widmer built a wine cellar below his vineyards. A museum of winemaking tools is open to the public in the Niagara Chalet, and conducted tours of a modern winery are available. Number 13, Railroad Station, Academy Street at West Avenue. The first train to arrive at the station from the Middlesex Valley Railroad was from Stanley, New York, on August 28, 1892. The railroad was purchased by the Lehigh Valley Railroad on December 1, 1895. Naples was the end of the Lehigh Valley line, so the engineers had to turn the engines around in order to make the return trip. The last train run was in the fall of 1970. Number 14, the Octagon House, corner of West Avenue and Lyon Street. This unusual house was built by E.A. McKay, a Naples lawyer, in the 1840s. Behind this house and to the south, he set out the first vineyard in the Naples Valley in 1844. By 1848, he had a full acre of grapes in production. Number 15, the Naples Fairgrounds entrance, East Avenue. In 1879, land across Naples Creek was leased from James Monier and used it as an agricultural fair site. Stock was sold locally, and an annual fair was held in September until 1941, when it was discontinued. The property is now owned by the New York State Conservation Department. Number 16, the Dana Luther House, 45 East Avenue, east side of street just past the intersection of Monier. This was the home of D. Dana Luther, Naples' self-made geologist, surveyor, and author. He discovered the fossilized Naples tree displayed in the State Museum. Number 17, the Memorial Town Hall, Main at Monier Street. This hall was built in 1872 as a memorial to those who fought in the Civil War. The plans and all of the building materials were supplied locally. Meetings, school events, dances, and entertainment of all sorts were held here until the 1930s. Village boards met here. Various businesses occupied it for a number of years. The building was saved by a group of volunteers in the 1970s. The town of Naples sponsored the restoration of the exterior in the 1990s. This is one of the few Civil War memorial buildings in existence. Number 18, the Pottle House, 134 North Main Street. This beautiful home was the home of the Honorable E.B. Pottle, the first member of the Assembly from Ontario, Yates, and Seneca districts. He was one of the founders of the Republican Party in New York State and was a strong abolitionist. His son, Emery Pottle, known author, actor, and playwright, lived in the house next door to the south and was known as Gilbert Emery. Number 19, the Jane Mills House, 4 Dumont Street. Jane Mills was born in 1815 and moved to Naples in 1843. She was the author of A History of Naples, poems, stories, and a textbook, Elements of Botany. For many years, she was town historian. Number 20, the Marks House, 1 Mechanic Street. Here lived William Billy Marks, Naples merchant, undertaker, and abolitionist. His home became a principal station on the Underground Railroad as he helped slaves on their way to Canada. Hiding fugitives in his small hearse, he successfully transported, according to his own calculations, 150 slaves over the hills to the next station, the Pitts Mansion in Honeoye. Number 21, the Red Mill, corner of Mill and Wall Street. This old mill is the second to stand on this site. The first, built by Lyons, Watkins, and Story in 1815, was torn down in 1850. Lyons and Hamlin then reconstructed it using the original basement and timbers. The last miller was James Slayton. William Verheil donated the mill to the Naples Historical Society in 2014. The society is currently securing the structure and inventorying artifacts. Number 22, the Morgan Hose Building, 15 Mill Street. The Beehive, as it was called, was built in 1830. It was a home to Mr. Simeon Lyon, then a rooming house, and survived the fire of 1890. The Morgan Hook and Ladder Company acquired the building in 1891, added the tower for drying fire hoses, and a bell, and used it as a firehouse. The basement was used for village offices and jail. It is now the headquarters for the Naples Historical Society. The Society undertook a major structural repair project in the 1990s. The building is registered as a National Historic Landmark. Number 23, Rose Ridge Cemetery, West Hollow Road. Caroline Porter was buried on the ridge overlooking Naples in 1854. Her father offered adjacent land for other burials. In 1868, William Marks purchased this land and gave it to the community as a cemetery. In 1882, the property was taken over by the Rose Ridge Cemetery Association. Number 24, Grimes Glen, at the end of Vine Street. This beautiful glen was named for Paul Grimes, who lived near its entrance. A knife factory was built at the Second Falls in 1889, and it operated for many years. D. Dana Luther found the fossilized specimen of the oldest form of known tree here in 1882. Number 25, the Morehouse Car, Mill and Cross Street. In a wagon shop near where the firehouse currently stands, Fisher Morehouse built a three-wheeled gasoline-powered automobile in 1893. This was one of the first automobiles driven on New York State highways. A New York City doctor purchased the car from Morehouse and drove it for many years in New York. Number 26, the Verheil House, 166 South Main Street. Major Benjamin Clark, who built the first sawmill, erected this house in 1804. It originally stood on the high ground across the street, but was moved to its present location in 1923. Number 27, the Griswold Mill, Main Street at Mark Circle. Also known as the Old Mill, it is unknown who built it. Records indicate that Paul Grimes was an early operator. In its heyday, it is said that 2 shifts operated sawing stovewood, lumber to make grape trays and baskets, shingles, lath, molding, and general building material. Number 28, the Maxfield Wine Cellar, 12 Clark Street. The wine cellar was established by Hiram Maxfield Jr. in 1880. Widmer's purchased it in 1941. In 2003, Lake Country Woodworkers renovated the winery to use as their factory for making fine commercial furniture. Number 29, the Sutton Company, 120 South Main Street. This store was built in the mid-1800s. From 1898 to 1936, the building housed the famous Toby Clothing Company, Clothiers to the World. Jim Stafford continues to manufacture the quality famous Sutton fishing spoons here. The store still sells clothing in an old-time store setting. Number 30, the Naples Hotel, 111 South Main Street. The first uptown hotel was built just north of the site in 1820 by Simeon Lyon. In 1895, J.F. Brown erected the brick Naples Hotel. Hotel service has been continuous at this location since 1820. You can contact the hotel for information on ghost tours. Number 31, the Corner Store, 102 North Main at Mill Street. This store, located on the north corner of Main and Mill Street, is probably the oldest store still standing on Main Street. Built in the early 1800s, the store has housed the following businesses: Welton and Dart, M and W.T. Palmatier, Dutton and Dutton, A. Wilbur, Levi Thrall, William H. Wisewell, E. Booth Arnold's Restaurant, B. Gerold's Gifts, Bud Ryan Homes and Bodine's Square Dance Shop, Miller's Floral, and J. Robinson Law Office. Number 32, the Maxfield House, 105 North Main Street. One of Naples' stateliest homes, this pillared white building with its colonial revival front was built by Calvin Luther for his childhood sweetheart Rebecca in the 1830s. D. Dana Luther, noted geologist, was born in this house. In 1865, it became the home of Hiram Maxfield, banker, and later his son Dennison, a banker and winery owner. The first savings and loan of Naples was started in the house behind the round porch. The house remained in the Maxfield family until 1973. It has been a private residence as well as a bed and breakfast. It is currently under extensive authentic renovation and will be an elegant inn when completed.